What's up, y'all? This is Matt Moore. I'm a husband, a father, a writer, and yeah, a self-confessed serial griller.
This is gonna be a burger like none that you've ever had before. Give it all we got here. This is fun. Hot eats, cool treats.
No scripts, no fluff, no excuses.
Forget about it.
Join me and the crew in my backyard and beyond. Just real food, good folks, and the fire that brings us together. This is Serial Griller.
Hey, Matt, how are you doing today?
It's a hot one.
It's
How are you,
hot
my
out
love?
there.
I am burning up, but you know what? It's hot in the kitchen, it's hot outside, it's hot everywhere. You doing good?
It's a little cool in the lobby, though.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Looks like I got some pork steaks for you. So you got that Coke.
Is it free?
The Coke is $1.64, and you've already paid for the steaks.
I thought my credit was good around here.
All right.
Always
you
a pleasure.
Stay cool out there,
Thank
please.
you so much.
Hydrate.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
Cheers.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So they say there's a first time for everything, and this is the first episode in the first season of Serial Griller. I'm your host, Matt Moore, and author of Serial Griller, and I'm inviting you into my backyard here in East Nashville, Tennessee. This is where the magic happens and probably a little bit of the madness too. You might ask, what is serial grilling? Well, there's millions of us out there that believe that no matter the course, the meal, or the ingredients, well, we can make it all better on the grill. We're gonna start out with a grill that is near and dear to my heart. I probably would not be here without Old Smoky. This is the first grill that my father cooked for my mom on in 1975. We're gonna be cooking using briquettes on this grill. There's a couple of reasons that we're gonna use briquettes. First and foremost, it's the flavor itself. Secondly, one of the advantages that we get is that we're actually gonna get a consistent burn time because of that similar size and shape that we have throughout. Now, of course, they're gonna produce a little bit more ash. We can't reuse them as compared to lump charcoal. And one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people make is they just don't automatically know how to start out. I'm gonna light these tumbleweeds, and this is just gonna be kind of a natural way for me to let the fire do its thing. The reason I've created a bit of a pyramid here is because truthfully, I want to allow that fire to pick up and burn every single coal. And so this pyramid is gonna force air up and throughout Old Smoky, similar to like a watch pot that never boils. Quite frankly, if you're gonna stand around and watch this charcoal, it's gonna take forever to light. Let it do its thing. We're gonna keep the lid off. I'm gonna take a little bit of this chicken cock Kentucky straight bourbon, pour myself a traveler, let the charcoal do its thing. Thanks for hanging out. This is Serial Griller. Cheers. Coals look fantastic. They've completely grayed over. I'm gonna set myself up with a 2-zone fire. So I'm gonna take these coals. We're gonna have the left side, which is gonna give us that direct radiant heat. The other side is gonna offset from the food source. It's gonna give us indirect heat. And that way, when you're grilling on charcoal, you've got a high side and a low side. So let's go ahead. We're gonna put our grate back on. And you'll notice with Old Smoky, we are going old school, no temperature gauges. We're just gonna feel the heat of the fire. I'm gonna open up this dampener just a little bit because we wanna start out by making a dish that is synonymous with pretty much every Saturday in my house, grilled chicken wings. If the Georgia dogs are playing, I'm gonna be outside here in my backyard cooking these wings. When I go to my butcher, I actually ask for the entire whole wing. Oftentimes when you pick these up at the store and they've been pre-butchered, you're not gonna get the exact same result. And so if you've never done this at home, this is super duper simple. I'm gonna take my knife here. I'm using a pretty heavy duty knife. If you do this correctly, you can just use a paring knife as well. But I just wanna find that joint. So I've got the wing tip and I've got my little flat right here. And if I just come here, it's just gonna be just that simple of just breaking that joint. So I'm actually not really having to cut through the bone per se. I'm just letting that knife kind of guide itself. So we're just gonna work these all the way through. Super simple, just like that. Now I've got my wings. They're all suited here. And what I wanna do is just give it a little bit of hit of some oil. These are my friends Lily's of Charleston. This is a lemon pepper rub. I'm from the city of Atlanta. Nothing is more Atlanta than lemon pepper wings. Just wanna give this a toss. We're pretty liberal in our seasoning. I'm gonna work on kind of a 2-step wing. This fat portion on the flat, I'm gonna go ahead and start to cook directly on my grate. Again, I'm offset from the heat source, so this is actually gonna be a little bit lower, a little bit slower. We're gonna let these take their time, kind of get really tender and kind of pull off the bone. And then when we want that really beautiful crispy sear, we're gonna come back and finish that on the other side of the grill. So let's go ahead and get these down. These are gonna live on our grill for a second. I'm gonna give you guys on this show my secrets, and here's one of them, a house-made blue cheese dressing. This is really easy and simple to put together at home. We're gonna start up first with fresh garlic. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a rough chop, a little bit of Worcestershire. Got that right on the first time. Going back to Lily's of Charleston. I like a little bit of hot sauce in my blue cheese, touch of sour cream, some Duke's mayonnaise here, whipped cream cheese. We'll give it a little bit of lemon juice as well, healthy dab of kosher salt, black pepper. I think a sign of a good blue cheese dressing is that we actually see the blue cheese in the dressing. And when you dip that flat or the wing, you have that big chunk and you kind of chunk it this way or this way, depending on how you eat your wings. And then we'll fold in the rest of the cheese just a touch later on. What I'm gonna do is just kind of take this down. You can see a little bit of a light hue between the Worcestershire and the hot sauce. To me, that's kind of the signature idea that this was homemade. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off of Old Smoky. We've set ourselves up because we have all the coals. This is the hottest part of the grill. This is that radiant heat. It's almost like the sun is beaming down upon you. We want to get that beautiful, crispy, delicious skin. I'm actually gonna leave the lid off. That's gonna encourage a little bit more air. Beautiful, crispy, all the things that we want. Right off the bone, tender. This is exactly what we're looking for. I'm gonna serve these up with that beautiful house-made blue cheese that we made a little bit earlier. This is gonna be a burger like none that you've ever had before. We're gonna cook up Papa's hamburger. This is the Hemingway Burger. We want a very lean, kind of a mixture of 80-20 beef. But the reason that I've gone to the butcher is that I wanna make sure that I'm getting kind of a loose grind here. This is super important for this burger. This is sort of a blend between almost a traditional hamburger, I'd say a meatloaf, and maybe more of a steak frite. So I've got a little bit of shallot in here. We're gonna add in some caper as well. Just a rough chop on our capers, nothing too crazy. You know, for Old Smoky, all I've done is just put a Lodge cast iron skillet right on top. Okay, so we've got our capers and our India relish. That's one of the things that we could not find on Papa's burger list. India relish is no longer made, so we're just gonna make a quick substitution with a dill relish. We're also gonna add in a little bit of scallions. Just gonna chop these nice and on the bias. Just let the knife do the work. A meal is only as good as your ingredients. Well, same thing goes for a sharp knife and great tools. In true Hemingway fashion, a little glug of red wine. So we've got garlic, we've got shallots, we've got India relish, we've got scallion. We're gonna add in a little bit of sugar, a little bit of beau monde seasoning, which is kind of a blend. You can find this from Spice Islands. It's a blend of kind of salt, garlic powder, sugar, something he specifically calls out, fresh cracked pepper. The last piece is Mayin powder, which we could not find, but it's discontinued. Give us about a teaspoon of flour, a teaspoon of soy. Just mix this in together. This is kind of our umami. Gonna crack beautiful egg over the top. Hemingway is pretty specific in his burger making. The tighter that you push and you incorporate these ingredients, the tougher this is gonna come together. Let this chill for 4 to 5 minutes in the ice box before we start our cooking process. Give it a bit of a divide, and we're just gonna basically now loosely form some patties. Just super simple. And my cast iron skillet has preheated over direct heat into our skillet. That sizzle, that sear, it's exactly what we're looking for. This is what it's all about, the heat, the ambiance, the enjoyment. Perfect. We're actually not gonna serve this with any condiments. The man himself said, as is. We're doing Hemingway's burger, but we're gonna do my style of hot dogs. This is a 100-year-old recipe from my Aunt Mary. We're just gonna score these very loosely on the bias. We're gonna make a cross-hatch pattern. And you can see that I've kept the hot dogs really nice and tight together. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of roll them all in one. It's basically gonna open up a little bit more surface area on the hot dog. I want these dogs over direct heat, so I'm just gonna take my skillet. And these have been cooking per instruction for about 3 to 4 minutes per side. We're not looking to overcook these burgers. Want a nice sear, it's exactly what we're looking for. There we go. Just give these a flip. Again, using that 2-zone fire, I'm gonna maximize my space here. We're gonna take these hot dogs and we're just gonna layer these on directly over our coals. I'm just gonna take a yellow Vidalia onion And when I slice an onion, I like to just come through the root end just like this. I'm gonna lay it flat. By laying it flat, we're gonna set ourselves up for success. And I'll just come in here using my knife, come to this side, and we'll just allow the knife to do the work. I don't eat hot dogs a lot, quite honestly. When I do, it's a hot day like this, when I'm maybe sweating outside, doing some yard work, and about halfway through cutting the grass, you realize, you know what would be great for lunch? A little hot dog, a little Aunt Mary's relish, maybe some potato chips, maybe a little Debbie to finish, cold Dr. Pepper. Just finish off with a Roma tomato, just dice it just like that. Our dogs look great because they're over that direct heat. Got that beautiful char, and you can see that crosshatch pattern has done its work. To finish off our relish, we're just gonna add in a healthy dose of yellow mustard. This is cool, it's tangy, it's bright, it's refreshing, it has a pop of color. I'm just gonna go ahead and move these to our indirect heat. Throw our hamburger buns on here. Unfortunately, I don't have the little Debbie. You can smell all the time, the attention, flavor. These are cooked to a beautiful, kind of almost medium. Kind of pick up this last minute moment. I just take the bun, nestle the dog in. Just a couple seconds, that's a hot fire. It's a 1-2. Cooking over 500 degrees, that charcoal's pumping out. Old Smoky's doing its job. That's gonna kind of crisscross grill our bun. Oh my goodness. Give this a lovely finish with a relish. Perfect. Right over the top. All right, so we have Hemingway's famous burger, weeknight tailgate friendly meal, no condiments, just as is. Let the seasoning, let the taste, let the mystery speak for itself. Just beautifully cooked. You've got that 80-20 ground meat, perfect medium, kind of rare on the inside, really toasty, crispy bun. Give it all we got here. You get a little bit of the bite of the relish, the scallion, a little bit of the shallot. It's savory, it's comforting, it's juicy, it's tender. That is absolutely delicious. Aunt Mary's hot dog, nostalgia. This is what you want to see with a hot dog, though. You want to see that char on the outside of the bun. Let's be gregarious about this. Let's give it a big bite. The dog is an all-beef dog. It's bun length. It's not one of those kind of alligator arm dogs that goes the whole way through. All that, plenty of room for the relish. A little bit of potato chip. Maybe a potato chip on top. Forget about it. So it seems that hot chicken is all the rage. I live on Nashville's east side, which over here we do things a little bit differently. So I thought we'd have some fun and do some hot chicken, but serial griller in East Nashville style. So instead of frying the chicken, well, you guessed it, we're gonna put it on the grill. I'm gonna take a really fantastic ingredient that I use all the time, a leftover jar of pickles, and I've taken chicken thighs. This is gonna be our cut today. Chicken thighs are kind of the perfect cut for folks that are afraid of cooking chicken. You can cook these almost to infinity. I've just let these brine anywhere from a couple of hours up to overnight. Really nice flat lay of this over direct heat. Oh my goodness. So again, instead of frying, we're gonna grill really, really hot, really, really fast. That pickle brine is gonna add some acidity, even more flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and cover my grill, kind of let that heat do its thing. Convect right over the top. Similar to like a barbecue pitmaster, everybody has a different spice rub. So we're gonna take canola oil, and I've got a cast iron skillet because we wanna heat this up. Sugar, paprika, cayenne pepper. We call this the mud. We're gonna dip the chicken in the mud, hit it with a little bit more dry rub, put it on a sandwich bun. Thank you, see you later, East Nashville style. So let's go ahead and toast our buns. Oh my goodness, it's perfect. It's exactly what we're looking for. And hey, listen, this is something you can do in advance. Don't stress, doesn't have to be a la minute. So you'll wanna basically stir this mud as it comes together. Remember, we're trying to dissolve that sugar into the oil. We don't wanna burn it. We're keeping it over indirect heat. We're also gonna serve up arguably one of my favorite sandwiches. This is a pork gyro. You could say gyro, hero, gyro. I think Luke Bryan and Jimmy Fallon once did a skit on that. This silver skin right here is something that you need to just take just a few seconds just to take away. No matter the heat on the grill, this is actually never gonna be removed. So I'm gonna take a really nice sharp paring knife, and then I'll just let that knife do the work. Because I don't have a vertical rotisserie where I've got that spit where it's turning and burning and it's tempting you, my technique is to actually cut these into kebabs instead. But if there's any mistake that folks are making when they're cooking pork, is they're actually cooking it to a temperature that I think is beyond medium. If I have a really, really big chunk and I have maybe a smaller chunk, what's gonna happen is when we put these on the kebabs, this is going to be not cooked all the way through and this will be overcooked. So consistency is absolutely key. Let's go ahead and we're gonna build a really simple marinade here. I'm gonna use some whole Greek yogurt, some red wine vinegar, some paprika, get a little bit of color. Can't cook Greek without a little bit of oregano, extra virgin olive oil, fresh cracked pepper, kosher salt, garlic. I'm gonna let it live in the fridge again, at least 30 minutes up to overnight. We'll mix this all around. All the flavors that we love, these are gonna marry together. Let's check real quick on our chicken over here. You see that our mud is kind of coming up. Nice char on that. So to get that kind of vertical rotisserie feel, we're just gonna take our skewers and go ahead and just gently, this meat is super tender and the consistency and shape is just perfect here. And you know, one of the things I always talk about whenever you're making a kebab is that we don't want to really crowd this kebab too much, right? If we crowd all this meat down, we're gonna end up kind of steaming the meat. So creating a little bit of separation, give yourself some space. Okay, so kebabs are done. Ready to go ahead and give that a nice flip. Oh, it's beautiful. Now that we got a nice sear, beautiful brown caramelization, it's gonna make room for our kebabs. We wanna cook these right over our direct heat. About 2 to 3 minutes per side. We'll go ahead and cover this grill. So to go with the kebabs, we're gonna put together a really tangy, fresh tzatziki, Greek yogurt. This is some fresh cucumber, fresh dill, glug of olive oil, garlic to permeate the sauce in big chunks. Add some kosher salt, and this salt will basically become an abrasive. I can turn the side of my knife. Just slowly kind of start to work that garlic into a paste. A little bit of fresh lemon juice. It's cool, it's creamy, it's tangy. Fresh pepper, whip this up. Got the taste. Enough tang from the lemon, garlic kind of punching through. Check our kebabs. We are ready for this hot chicken sandwich. Just a couple pickles. I like them at the bottom of the bun, that way we get that really nice crunch. And here's what we're looking for. Nice char on the outside. We've changed it up East Nashville style. We've grilled the chicken, it's not fried, but we're gonna make it super classic. You can hear that sizzle. Like, you cannot make this up. Just let this live right on top. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Right on top. I couldn't just let this be just as is. I've got some fresh, finely sliced cabbage, a little bit of mayo, red wine vinegar, and some scallion. Give it that crunch, a little freshness. East Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Perfect for a tailgate, a weeknight, anytime. Kebabs are finishing up on the grill here. I like a little bit of freshness from some finely shredded lettuce. I like a little bit of pickle on mine as well. Our kebabs look great. Put them right on my cutting board. Beautiful char up front. And add our pita. Don't really want to grill them too heavy, just get a nice char. Get our assembly line ready to rock and roll. And that's exactly the consistency that we want to see. Just kind of slightly cooked through, medium temperature. I really love to slice this thin. We're gonna take hot pita, hot potato, a little of this tzatziki, give that a spread here. Then this juicy, tender pork. I mean, guys, We're always thinking about something different for a cookout to impress friends, impress family. To me, this is just off the nose from a hamburger, a hot dog with our pickle, our tomato. I'm gonna put more lettuce. I've got a little bit of sumac. It's nice and lemony, tart. Gives it that color. People kind of ask, how'd you know about that ingredient? Well, I watch Serial Griller. Let's go in for this thing. It's hot, it's delicious. 2 hands. Oh my God. The grilled bread just holds this together. I mean, this is a meal. This is love. This is coming from Greece to Nashville to wherever you're watching this. Tzatziki is cool. It's crunchy with the tomato. You got the pickle and the lettuce. We're gonna whip up something that is one of my favorites. I call this the peach smash. So I'm just gonna take my peaches, just kind of a rough chop here. What I like to do is just very lightly coat them with a little bit of canola oil. We'll go ahead and just give these a kiss right on top. The heat of the grill is gonna bring out that natural sugar and that flavor. Fruits on the grill are your friend. These have been on just for about a minute. We'll just give them another turn. Not looking for a char or anything, just kind of want them to soften up a little bit. Really nice and beautiful. And you can see, because of the heat of the grill and the sharpness of the knife, these are just cutting beautifully. We'll go ahead and get a nice base, fresh mint as well. Peaches and mint are muddled in. So the star of the show, a rye from Chicken Cock. This rye has some really crisp citrus notes that I think play really nicely with the peach here. 2 ounces per cocktail. Looks like sweet tea, but it's not. So 1 ounce each of our brown sugar simple syrup. Some crushed ice. We're just gonna add our cocktail bourbon. I like to give it a bit of fresh mint, let people know what they're gonna get into. So there we have it. This is our peach smash. Grilled peaches, we've got some muddled mint in here, our chicken cock rye, brown sugar simple syrup, and a little splash of ginger beer. Light, refreshing. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna have a couple of these. This is Serial Griller.